4.7 Transformations of Quadratic Graphs. So the way we start this one off is they want you to write in vertex form. We've seen vertex form before in last chapter. Vertex form is y equals a x minus h squared plus k, where your vertex is h comma k. And then remember, because it's squared, all of our graphs will look like a u. Now, what's different with this section is they're going to first give you the equation in standard form. And what standard form is y equals a x squared plus bx plus c. Now, a couple things with this that we need to recognize. When you do the vertex form, you won't be able to find a, and where you're going to get a is from the original equation that they give you. That's the same number, okay? And then to get it from standard form to vertex form, you are going to complete the square. So let's try the first problem. So we can see here that this equation 1a is in standard form, okay? So what we need to do is we need to put it into vertex form. So you need to find the vertex. Now, you could complete the square, but now that I'm thinking about it, the other way to find the vertex is to first find the axis of symmetry, all the way back from section 1, find the axis of symmetry, okay, and then plug that in and find the vertex. So I think that's easier. Let's do that one. Step 1 is find the axis of symmetry. This is a good review, negative b over 2a. So if I take this negative b, negative 4 over 2 times 1, that gets me negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So x equals negative 2. Now let's do step 2. Step 2 would be to find the vertex. And again, if you look back in your notes from section 1, you'll see this. Vertex is you plug this back into the equation. So you have negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 plus 6. Negative 2 squared is 4 minus 8 plus 6. And that gets you 2. So y is 2. My vertex that I just found, the vertex that I just found is negative 2, 2. And then we have our a. Remember, we need our a. From over here, our a is 1. So now we can write down vertex form. Here's our answer. Our answer is y equals a, 1, which you don't have to write, x minus negative 2 squared plus 2. So let's clean that up. Y equals x plus 2 squared plus 2. Okay. Now remember, if you wanted to graph that, right? If you wanted to graph that, your vertex is negative 2, 2. So negative 2, 2. Okay, and your y is going up. So it's something along those lines. Again, you're going to use your calculator to get those accurate points, but that's how you would quickly graph that one. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so they want it in vertex form. Step 1, get the axis of symmetry. So x equals negative b over 2a. Negative 12 over 2 times 2, which is 12 over 4, which is 3. So x equals 3. Step 2 is to get the vertex. So you're going to plug that in. 2 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3 plus 17. Okay, so this gets you 18 minus 36 plus 17, which y is equal to negative 1. My vertex is 3, negative 1. My a, if we look back up here, is 2. Remember, I'm getting that from the original equation. So let's write my answer. Y equals 2, x minus 3 squared minus 1. Again, if you wanted to graph that, your vertex is 3, negative 1, so it's right there. And then you use your calculator. Your A is 2, so it's like this. Okay. The other thing you could use, remember, is when we graphed the y-intercept, so 0, 17. You could come all the way up here to 0, 17 and graph it that way too. For your calculator would be easier and faster. Okay, this one here, which equation fits? So you need the vertex. Our vertex is 3, 2. Okay, so that would be y equals, we don't know x minus 3 squared plus 2. So you could start eliminating stuff, right? It's not going to be this one. It won't be this one. Now this is upside down, so your A does need to be a negative number, but we need to figure that out. So is it 4 or is it negative 1/4? And here's what you do. You're going to use this point right here. That's your x and that's your y point. Your vertex is your h and k, but a point is x and y. So you're going to plug those numbers into here to find out what a is. So y is negative 2 equals, we don't know a, x is negative 1 minus 3 squared plus 2. So this is negative 2 equals, negative 3 is negative 4, squared is 16. 16a plus 2, subtract 2 to both sides. Negative 4 equals 16a, divide by 16, and a is equal to negative 1/4. So I can see that my answer is B. All right, let's look at the next problem. Kind of same idea. So here they want you to find the equation. So in order to find the equation, we first need your vertex. So here's your vertex. So y equals, we don't know a, x minus negative 4, which is plus 4, squared plus 3. So in order to figure out what a is, because we don't know it, we now need to use that other point of negative 3, 6. So 6 equals a times negative 3 plus 4 squared plus 3. So this gets you 6 equals negative 3 plus 4 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So it's a plus 3. A is equal to 3. So now let's finish off our equation. Y equals 3 x plus 4 squared plus 3. That's my equation. Okay, let's move on from here. Let's look at these. They want you to graph these. Now remember, we've already graphed something like this, but let's just take a little refresher. We have y equals a x minus h squared plus k. Okay, so if a is greater than 0, your u is going up. If a is less than 0, your u is going down. Your vertex is always h, k. Okay, and you can basically go from there. I guess another bit of review is if oh no, let's just graph that. Okay, so let's look at this first one. Okay, so this one here, your h, you need h and k, which is your vertex, which is 3, negative 4. So if you graph that, so 3, negative 4. Okay, use your calculator, please, to get your accurate counts here. But here is your graph. Sorry. Okay. This one here, your h comma k, your h is 0, your k is 5. So if you graph that one, okay, it's going to be up here. The other thing we want to recognize that a is equal to -2, so negative means it's going to go down. Again, we're going to use our calculator to get accurate points. Okay, so 4-8 is the same exact thing. The only thing they want you to do for 4-8, I'm sorry, the same exact thing as section 7. The only thing they want you to do with 4-8 is see they put an inequality in there. So when you put an inequality in there, you have to shade. Okay, so you take the graph and then you shade it. Do the same steps as what we did before in section 7. So let's practice these. We'll do a couple. Step 1 is to find the axis of symmetry, which is x equals negative b over 2a. So negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. X equals negative 1. Step 2 is to find the vertex. The vertex, you plug it in. The vertex, so this is negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1 plus 4. So this is 1 minus 2 plus 4 is negative, or is 3, sorry. So your vertex is negative 1, 3. So when we go to graph this, okay, we're at negative 1, 3. Okay. The other thing we could do too, remember, is we could get the y-intercept here. Okay. The y-intercept is 0, c. That's a review. So 0, 4 is right here. Remember, we did the reflection because this was our axis of symmetry. Okay, so let's go to this part. Less than or equal to says that it has to be solid, and you have to shade below the line. So this is a solid view, and you have to shade below the line. So you're shading all below here. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, again, same steps. Step 1, axis of symmetry. Okay, so this is x equals negative b over 2a. So this is 3/4. Yes, I know it's a fraction. Work with it. Okay. Step 2 is your vertex. Now, when plugging it back in, negative 2, 3/4 squared plus 3 times 3/4 plus 5. Okay. You can take this and plug this in your calculator. Okay. And I would do obviously 3/4 as a decimal. And you get 2.23. Our decimals might be a little off the way we're doing the fractions and doing the decimals from the fractions. Okay, so let's graph this. So, sorry, our vertex, 3/4, comma, 2.23-ish. Okay, so, okay, 3/4 all the way up here, a little above 2. It's going to be in between 2 and 3. Okay, remember, here is really important. Your A is equal to negative 2. So it should be going down. Okay, again, your A is equal to negative 2. So it should be going down. Now, oops, it should be a dotted line. So I'm going to make it dotted this way. Sorry. Okay, it's a dotted line, and y is less than, so you're shading below the line. Let's try one more. Actually, let's go to these ones. Okay, this is really important. This is asking you to solve the inequality. So let's look at this. When the standard form is less than 0, okay, um, it depends on what you're looking at, but we'll talk about this once we graph it. When it's less than 0, your answer of this would be between like the red line. See where the red line is? And if your graph is upside down, one is it less than 0 to the left and to the right. Okay, same thing here. One is it greater than 0, when it's a positive A, it's to the left and the right. When it's a negative A, it's upside down. So let's look at these, because these are really important. And you'll see them next year a lot. I'm going to rewrite this. So this says x squared minus 5x plus 4 is greater than 0, because that's what we saw up above. Let's find, the easiest way to do here is you could find the axis of symmetry, or we could just factor these ones. If you factor these, the factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. Which one gets you 5? It's the 1 and 4. So x minus 1 and x minus 4. Okay. What's great about this is once you solve, you know that x is equal to 1 and positive 4, right? If you set this equal to 0, you can solve. So let's graph this really quick. I know that I have a 0 at 1 and I have a 0 at 4. Since my x squared, since my a is positive, it's going to look like this. Again, this is rectangle. So when is the equation greater than 0? When is this line greater than 0? And when we talk about greater than 0, we're talking about above the line, right? If something's greater than, you're above the line. So it's greater than 0 here and here. Greater than 0, greater than the x-axis. Okay, so what are those points when it's greater than 0? Okay, when it's greater than 0, remember for our domain, we approach the domain by negative infinity. This is going up to negative infinity. So it goes from negative infinity and it stops here at 1. This is the value of 1. Okay, then union, which means it picks back up over here at 4. And this line goes all the way up to positive infinity. So that would be our answer. Let's look at one more. Okay, so let's factor these ones. These ones are just going to be easier to factor than to find the axis of symmetry. So factors of 15 are going to be 3 and 5. That'll get you 8. So this is x plus 3 and x plus 5. So we can say that x, if you set those equal to 0, we can say that x is equal to negative 3 and negative 5. So let's graph that. All right, 1, 2, negative 3, negative 5, and your u is going to be upright. Okay, now here's what this says. When is the equation less than 0? That means below. So when is the line, the parabola you just drew, less than 0? Less than the x-axis, and it's right here. Now for this one, it starts and stops. So our answer here is it starts at negative 3, comma, it stops at negative 5. And that's our notes for today.